Bottom line, though, I guess, Senator, is it ever appropriate to make campaign content at military grave sites?
He didn't take campaign photos there. These families, Gold Star families, whose children died because of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's incompetence, invited him to the cemetery. And they asked him to take those photos because, as they told me yesterday, when I spoke to Kelly Barnett and Darren Hoover, the parents of Taylor Hoover, who has Arkansas ties, they don't get to go to the beach on Labor Day. They don't get to have barbecues. This is their one chance to have a memory of their children, to commemorate their service and to honor their sacrifice. They wanted President Trump there. They wanted to take those photos. You know who the families also invited? Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Where were they? Joe Biden was sitting at a beach. Kamala Harris was sitting at her mansion in Washington, D.C. She was 4 miles away. 10 minutes. She could have gone to the cemetery and honored the sacrifice of those young men and women. But she hasn't. She never has spoken to them or taken a meeting with them.
Well, they did meet with them during the dignified transfer.
Because of
they were with them at the dignified transfer.
Her and Joe Biden's incompetence, those 13 Americans were killed in Afghanistan.
Happy Labor Day to all and everyone. I hope you guys enjoy your time off. And this, I think, Labor Day is it's an opportunity to remember that it costs people's lives to maintain the current freedoms and privileges that we have here as fellow Americans, that people literally lay down their lives to defend our right to bicker about the future of the country. All right. So now I showed you a clip from Tom Cotton really hitting back at Kristen Welker for promoting a false Democratic attack, because Donald Trump is accused of politicizing the Gold Star family. So the Gold Star family came out and blasted Kamala Harris for her heinous post attacking Donald Trump. I'll show it to you right here, so that way this is not only based on my framing, you also have evidence of what Kamala Harris actually posted. As vice president, I've had the privilege of visiting Arlington's National Cemetery several times. It is a solemn place, a place where we could come together to honor American heroes who have made the ultimate sacrifice in service of this country. It is not a place for politics. Surprise, surprise. Look, to me, as growing up, I remember if any tragedy happened, like let's say a mass shooting, who's quick to politicize that? Democrats. But all of a sudden here, Democrats don't want to politicize anything. Okay, right? But I digress. It's just a little something I noticed about that line, that they say it's not a place for politics. But I say, yo, Democrats find any opportunity to make something political. They go to churches. Like, imagine that. Church, religion, where it's not supposed to be political. Democrats make it political. God forbid a Republican goes to a church and promotes his political policies. Oh, no, we can't have that. But Democrats are allowed to do it day and night. This is just me speaking from personal experience growing up in the hood, black American here. And yet, as we report this week, Donald Trump's team chose to film a video there, resulting in an altercation with cemetery staff. Now, there's some debates that this may be a hoax. I want to verify this, but just to know, I'm not sure. I haven't done my research yet. I'm not sure if this altercation actually happened or what caused it initially. Let me be clear. The former president disrespected sacred ground, all for the sake of political stunts. This is nothing new for Donald Trump. This is a man who called our fallen service members suckers and losers. This was a hoax. This for sure I know is a hoax. Donald Trump never said that. And disparaged Medal of Honor recipients. A man who, during a previous visit to the cemetery, reportedly said of the fallen service members, "I don't get it. What's in it for them?" This man who is unable to comprehend anything other than service to himself. If there's one thing on which Americans can all agree on, is that our veterans, military families, and service members should be honored, never disparaged, and treated with nothing less than our highest respect and gratitude. And it is my belief that someone who cannot meet this simple, sacred duty should never stand behind the seal of the President of the United States. I agree with that, Kamala Harris. But you are also invited by the Gold Star family, as you saw from the intro. I will always honor the service and sacrifices of all the Americans fallen of heroes who had the ultimate sacrifice on the behalf of our beloved nation and our cherished freedoms. I mourn them and I salute them. Now, before I continue with the story, I have a clip.
And this is a total catastrophe, and you might as well get out now because you're just wasting time and lives. You know, nobody talks about the soldiers that are coming back with no arms and no legs. And I saw at Mar-a-Lago on Mondays, I make Mar-a-Lago my club that you know about.
In Palm Beach.
I make that twice now. On a Monday, I let returning Iraqi injured soldiers come to the premises. The most beautiful people I've ever seen. but they're missing arms and legs. They're with their wives. Sometimes they're with their girlfriends, and the tears are coming down the faces of these people. I mean, the thousands and maybe hundreds of thousands, and the Iraqis that have been just maimed and killed. This war is a horrible thing. Now, President Bush says he's religious, and yet 400,000 people, the way I count it, have died, and probably millions have been badly maimed and injured. What's going on? What's going on? And the day we pull out, it's going to explode. We're keeping the lid on a little bit. It's still a catastrophe. But the day we pull out, because they're in a civil war, whether we want to admit it or not, they're in a civil war. Look, everything in Washington has been a lie. Weapons of mass destruction was a total lie. It was a way of attacking Iraq, which he thought was going to be easy, and it turned out to be the exact opposite of easy. He reads 60 books a year. He reads a book a week. Do you think the president reads a book a week? I don't think so. He doesn't watch television. Now, one thing I know is that when I'm on television, I watch, or I try. Because you do. Your own ego says, let's watch. Let's see whether it's good or bad. You want to watch, right? He doesn't watch television. So he's on television being interviewed by you or somebody else. He doesn't watch. Does anybody really believe that? Now they're doing this whole scandal with the U.S. attorneys. Now they're finding emails, and it's proven to be a lie. Everything's a lie. It's all a big lie.
So apparently that was a video of Donald Trump discussing the failures and the extraordinary human cost of war. He discussed how he invited maimed war veterans who served at Mar-a-Lago. This was before he ever ran for president. Find me a video of Kamala going out her way to do something for veterans. So you want me to believe a man like that, who's done numerous things for veterans, is going to call them suckers or losers? Now, this, to me, I know Democrats' game. They love to promote false attacks, right? And the media plays along with it, right? Tom Cotton hits back at NBC News Kristen Welker for promoting false Democrat attack, because majority of the people in the media are Democrats, right? Gold Star family blasts Kamala for her vile, hideous, disgusting post attacking Trump. Gold Star families who lost their sons and daughters during the Biden-Harris disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan in 2021 released a joint statement and individual statement over the weekend, slamming Vice President Kamala Harris over a political attack that she had made against former President Donald Trump that was filled with false statements. Harris attacked Trump on Saturday for visiting Arlington National Cemetery to pay his respect to the 13 U.S. service members who died during the withdrawal, which was approved by Harris. This is the real reason she didn't come, right? 4 miles away, Kamala Harris, in your D.C. home. The families released a joint statement saying that they had personally invited Trump to attend the event at ANC, and that they were appalled by her attack on social media, saying that she disgracefully twisted the sacred moment into a political ploy. Yeah, but we shouldn't politicize our veterans. I mean, this is Kamala Harris, y'all. This is who Democrats want you to elect as president of the United States. I want to show you one example. There's numerous statements like this from the Gold Star family attacking Kamala Harris, blasting Kamala Harris for her attack and her political attempts at hurting Trump with this tweet. Let's take a look.
Vice President Harris, my name is Christy Shamblin. My daughter-in-law, Sergeant Nicole Leanne G., was killed in the Afghanistan exit at Abbey Gate on August 26, 2021. This year, for the 3rd year anniversary of her murder, we welcome President Donald J. Trump to Arlington to lay a wreath on the tomb of the unknown soldier with our family and to visit Nicole graveside. President Trump and his team were respectful. They listened to our stories and didn't talk much at all. We welcomed them that day, and they were comfort to our family. Vice President Harris, I ask you, why won't you return a call and explain to us how you call my daughter-in-law's death a success? Vice President Harris, why will you not express your condolences yourself? Why have we never heard from you? And finally, why would you take a day where we celebrated the death of our loved one and use it to disparage not only them, but us? President Trump has called, President Trump shows up, and President Trump takes the time to hear our loved ones' stories. Why won't you do the same?
And Kamala Harris want to talk about contrast. Oh, we want to put the contrast is clear. Oh yeah, the contrast is very clear. Yeah, you only show up for photo ops if it politically benefits you, Kamala Harris. This is one of a Trump stand here. She's accusing. I'm not going to talk. You know me, guys. Is this you, brain dead Joe Biden, making a video at yourself at the Arlington National Cemetery? If you're not allowed to film, why are you posing for the cameras and all clammed up? You're a hypocrite and a liar. Essentially accusing her of hypocrisy. This is them at the Arlington Cemetery attacking this. So I mean, this is hilarious. I mean, this was a warning. I think I made mention to this before, that New York Times, they had a post where they talked about how Kamala Harris's campaign essentially unraveled, and this is a prime example of that. This is crazy, right? She's been accused of being the last person in the room. You okayed the withdrawal from Afghanistan. Your failure to execute properly cost these people their family members, and you don't even give them a phone call. But you're the same person who talks about, wait, the contrast is clear between us and Donald Trump. Yeah, one guy cares for American, the other candidate don't care for America, only care about their political party. Kamala Harris seems like the type of person to want to say anything as long as it gets her votes. Pandering, but doesn't actually believe her new positions. Can't articulate, hey, what made you change your position from fracking to no fracking? Instead of that, lie and say, no, I made my values clear. I've never changed my values. But in the same breath, I've said I'm against fracking in 2020. Then you go do the research. I did that. And you find out she said Joe Biden would never ban fracking. She never said personally that she would be against banning fracking. This is the kind of game that Kamala Harris is playing. She's trying to keep her positions vague. She's trying to leave it up to interpretation. This is why she doesn't put any policies on her website. Like I said, like I remember hearing, if it ain't on paper, it ain't real. So what is our policies? This is Kamala Harris. This is the contrast they say that is supposed to be so good. I don't think this is a good strategy. And all week they've been trying to attack. The media's been playing this game. Dana Brash, fresh from her interview with Kamala Harris. Let's see how she goes at Tulsi Gabbard on this segment, and then I'll end off the video.
I do want to move on to what is happening with regard to controversy after the former president visited Arlington National Cemetery this week. His campaign took photos and video of him in Section 60, where veterans of the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan are buried, used it in a campaign video. The Army also says that Trump staffers abruptly pushed aside a cemetery official who tried to enforce Arlington's rules prohibiting political activities. I know you were with Trump at least earlier in that day at the tomb of the unknown soldier. Did you witness the altercation at Section 60?
I was there from the beginning with the laying of the wreaths with the family members, the Gold Star family members, and some of the survivors of that terrorist attack in that disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan. I was with them at Section 60, and what I saw was a very grave and somber remembrance and honoring of those lives that were lost. And I saw President Trump spending time at the invitation of these Gold Star families with them. He was there for a few hours. I did not see or hear about any kind of altercation until something came out in the news later on. The families were there grieving alongside President Trump, and it was a very special moment to really remember their names, remember their memories, and understand the true cost of war and the consequences of the decisions that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden made in the
Good. That was a good answer, I think. A good way of that's not important. The altercation, yes, it's a bad look, but end of the day, where did this came from? That's what I want to know. What altercation? Where did it happen? Was it after the ceremony, before, during? This is the kind of thing that I think the media, they like to make a mountain out of a molehill when they think it politically serves them. right? And this is why I'm saying that it seemed like the media always help Democrats with a narrative when the Democrats want to portray a narrative, like for instance, Trump is scared of the debate. Democrats always talk about how Donald Trump's the one who's scared of the debate. He wants the mics unmuted. He wants the mics muted. He's scared. Doesn't his strategists don't trust him to speak with a live mic. But in the same breath, when Joe Biden was the one who pushed for all these rules, and Donald Trump just say, "Yeah, I got used to these rules. Keep them as is." They don't go attack Kamala Harris. Oh, Kamala Harris. Oh, why you want to change the mic rules? Are you not confident that you can debate in the same format as Joe Biden? The media never direct any criticism really for the Democrats. But when it's Democrat narratives, they parrot it. And this gives credence to my argument that majority of our U.S. journalists are Democrats. And I have the facts to back it up. Only 3.5% of journalists are registered Republicans.
Execution of that withdrawal.
Yeah, and it is very clear that the former president was invited in his personal capacity, as you said, by a family of one of the service members who was killed about 2 years ago during the withdrawal from Afghanistan.
It was 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
3 years ago to the day on August 26th.
Yes, 3 years ago. The question is about the federal law and Arlington's rules that prohibit partisan or political activities at national cemeteries. And the military and also other members of other families who are buried right near there are upset about the campaign filming it and posting the video online. Do you believe that was appropriate?
You know, I checked with the campaign on this question, and they have exchanges with the officials at Arlington Cemetery. They were approved to bring a camera there to document this historic and momentous day that should not be forgotten by any American.
So I don't get the narrative. If Donald Trump and his team gotten permission to film there, why they are causing such a big hoopla over this? And I already showed you before I got into this video, Kamala Harris and Joe Biden did something similar. They're all glammed up. They're walking through the Arlington Cemetery. Same deal that Donald Trump's doing. But for some reason, the media is trying to make a big circus over the fact that Donald Trump is doing this because it's not politically beneficial for Democrats for Donald Trump to be doing that. Because Democrats are at fault for this. Harris is at fault for this because she was the last person in the room. This is why this is their real problem with Donald Trump filming at the cemetery, because it makes them look bad. Their contrast is really hurting them right now. And especially when you got all these Gold Star families coming out and really rebuking Kamala Harris for this, it's not a good look. Democrats love to pretend that they're the good guys on this. And all they're really doing is they're doing all this for political reasons. They're trying to discredit Donald Trump's support, Donald Trump's image with this attack for political reasons. And they're the ones that say, "Oh, we don't want to make this political." But the Democratic Party are inherently political. Democratic voters will block you if you disagree with them politically. Democrat women won't date you if you differ from them politically. Democrat voters are political. By their nature, they are political. They politicize everything. Gun violence, politicized. Crime, politicized. Any racial disparities, they that can superficially link it to racism, they politicize that. Black Democrats politicize your skin color. If you don't vote along with them, all of a sudden you ain't black. And you want me to believe that they're so, oh yeah, we don't want to make this political. Liars. Right? I don't trust anything that come out of the Democratic's mouth. We're for unity. Spend the last 3 years calling the other side extremists, mega extremists. How can you call a party extremist when they get 50% of the vote? How is that extreme? Make it make sense. So anyone who disagrees with Democrats are extremists? Is that the narrative you try to portray? But this is the game that Democrats play. This is the game that our politics in 2024 has become. A game of slander, not solutions. But I digress. Let me know your thoughts about it in the comment section below. What are your thoughts about the Arlington Cemetery situation? Do you agree with Kamala Harris? Do you agree with Donald Trump? Do you just don't trust the framing that the media is trying to go with this? Do you think the media is an arm of the Democratic Party when it comes to creating narratives and never give that same kind of leeway for Republicans? I'd like to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I really appreciate you guys watching the end of the video. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.